We believe at Pacifica that there's a reality other than ourselves, that we aren't just the center of the universe. And so we believe there is a reality that is outside of us, that there is a God that has a purpose and a plan for our life. And part of our role as human beings is to explore what God is up to, what God wants for us. And so we live in a day and age where we kind of have dismissed God, maybe God is dead, and we become the center of the universe. And what we like and what we think and what we do dominates everything about who we are. And so it's about who we are and what our tastes are and what our view of ourselves are and what we do for a living and what we study. And it becomes all about us. And so we begin to conform the world to who we are and conform reality to who we are as human beings. And I think there's another way to look at it. I think there's another way to look at it, that the part of the role that we have as human beings is to try to see what God is up to outside of us and maybe conform our wills to his will. And I know that's countercultural because we're so wanting everyone to conform to who we are. And so at Pacifica, we're kind of twisting things a little bit differently and saying, okay, God, what are you up to? What do you want? How can we conform our will to your good plan? Because we think that's really good for human flourishing. We believe there's something bigger than ourselves out there that we need to explore. It's not just all about us and who we are as individuals. And we certainly live in a culture of expressive individualism, is kind of celebrating, and who I am as a person is celebrating. We should celebrate each individual, there's no doubt about it. But we need to keep in mind that there's something more out there. There's something bigger than us that we need to consider. And so I'm afraid we've kind of turned inward too much and kind of begin to focus too much on who we are as individuals and left out the bigger picture, left out the bigger community. And so our goal at Pacifica is to help students know who they are, certainly, and know what they're about and what they like and dislike, their passions, their giftedness, but also begin to explore things beyond themselves, things greater than themselves, things in their community, things of God, and how they might conform their will to what God's will is, rather than trying to conform everyone around them to who they are. As we explore what God is up to, as we explore the bigger picture, as we explore things outside of ourselves and begin to conform our will to God's plan, we begin to understand a lot of things. First of all, we begin to understand who we are, how we're made, who we are. We begin to understand the world and how God's made the world, and we begin to understand our place in the world. And there's no better understanding to understand who we are, what the world's about, and our place in the world. It gives us meaning, purpose, and direction.